welcome back to Library. Today we have another Monarch story. It is called Let the Children March by Monica Clark Robinson, and it's illustrated by Frank Morrison. Our story today is nonfiction. Do you remember what that means? It means that it's true. It's a real, true story. So the events in this book actually happened. And if you'll look in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see this symbol. And that is a symbol for a book award. It's called the Coretta Scott King Book Award. And this book award is given to African American authors or illustrators who write books or illustrate books that show an appreciation for the African American culture or for universal human values. So here we go. We're going to get started with this book. There are a few pages with a timeline, so if you want to pause and read through those with your family, you can. Civil Rights and the Children's Crusade. Let the Children March. "1963, Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't play on the same playground as the white kids. I couldn't go to their schools. I couldn't drink from their water fountains. There were so many things I couldn't do. One warm spring night, my family went to church. We weren't there to have regular services. We were there to hear Dr. King speak. We were there to plan." Do you know who that is? That's Dr. King. He wanted to raise an army of peaceful protesters to fight for freedom. His brown eyes flashing fire and love, Dr. King told us the time had come to march. "If I march," Mama said, "I'll lose my job, sure enough." "I can't march," Daddy said. "I got a family to feed." The weight of the world rested on our parents' shoulders, but this burden, this time, did not have to be theirs to bear. So who's going to bear it? "I don't have a boss to fear," my brother said, "or a job to lose. We can march this time. We'll be Dr. King's army," I said. "I'll be fine, Daddy," I promised. "Don't worry, Mama." Dr. King didn't like children being put in harm's way. He was a daddy too, after all. But he said that though we were young, we were not too young to want our freedom. Let the children march. They will lead the way. On May 2nd, a sunny Thursday, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, we all met at the church, dressed in our best, feet ready. In a silence so loud that all I could hear was my racing heart, we began to walk. Hand in hand we marched, so frightened, yet certain of what was right for freedom. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on. Would I be hurt? Would we be heard? Would it all be worth it in the end? I wanted to run from the angry faces in the crowd, run from danger, run from fear. Singing the songs of freedom, 1,000 strong we came. Boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, on and on we marched, we marched, we marched. Hate dogged my heels all that day, its yellow canine teeth sharp, but courage walked by my side and kept me going. "Disperse or you'll be jailed," the police shouted the first day. "Disperse or you'll get wet," the police shouted the second day. "Disperse or we'll release the dogs," the police shouted the third day. We did not disperse. We kept on marching. We wouldn't stop until things started to change. And I'm going to go back to the other picture where you can see how they're being blasted with water or the dogs are attacking. Hundreds of us went to jail on the first day, and even more on the second. My turn wasn't until the third day. After I was sprayed by water stronger than anything I've ever felt, rough hands pushed me forward, and I fell to my knees in the police wagon. I was going to jail. Dr. King reassured our parents. "Don't worry about your children," he said. "They're going to be all right. Don't hold them back if they want to go to jail, for they are doing a job for not only themselves, but for all of America and for all of mankind." That's a really big job. That night, crowded into a cell too small for even half of the kids, we sang, "We shall overcome," "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round," and "Freedom is coming." Our parents couldn't be there with us, but still we sang, wrapped in the proud and loving arms of our ancestors. I was still in jail, but we heard that the next day, more kids marched. The water hoses they used to sting us could not stop our fierce tide. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on. Turn the other cheek, we had been taught. Show love where there is hate. The world watched as hate bruised us, but for 7 days we walked only in love. The jails swelled to bursting, and even President Kennedy took notice. Daddy said the president received letters and calls about us from all over the world. Our march would become a memory, a small part of a larger story. But we had been heard, and the seeds of revolution were sown. And there you can see on the TV, they're showing the children being sprayed with the water hoses. 2 days and nights I stayed in the jail. Some stayed even longer. When I left, I was tired and sore, and my best dress was ripped, but my smile was as wide as the Mississippi River. I had made a difference. "I'm so proud of you, baby girl," Mama said. "Your march was what made them see." With nothing more than our feet, voices, and courage, we had done what others could not. Change was right around the corner. We felt it like a cool breeze in an Alabama August. On May 10th, the great news rang out. Dr. King had reached an agreement with the white leaders of the city. Desegregation would begin. One month later, I was playing on a playground I'd never been allowed to play on before. 2 months later, my family ate at a diner we'd never been allowed to eat in before. Our march made the difference. We children led the way, singing the songs of freedom. 1,000 strong we came. And here is a little bit about the story. It says an afterword and the artist statement. And this is a real photograph of the children being sprayed with water. And there's a few more photographs. It shows you from the march where it says that there were 3,000 children that were arrested. And some of the children, one of them quoted, "I knew I was going to jail." And here's more timeline that you can pause and read with your family if you'd like. And then here's a little bit about the author and illustrator. "The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on." The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story today, and I hope that you are encouraged. If you have the chance to stand up for something that you believe in that is right, I hope you will do it. Sometimes it can be really hard to stand up for what we believe in if no one else stands with us. But I hope that even if you're the only one who chooses kindness, if you're the only one who chooses to say, "That's wrong," when something wrong is happening, I hope that you'll have the courage to be brave to do it. Just like the children who were so brave, even when they were frightened, even when they were not treated nicely, even when they had to spend some time in jail, they were brave enough to say, Change needs to happen. And I hope that you will be that brave and you will be that courageous to stand up for what is right in our world. All right, don't forget to fill out the exit ticket for this week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.